Fixtures Podcast, Episode 5, Game Week 4.
Thank you, Nicky, for getting that out of the way before I even got to my seat. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fixtures Podcast, as Nicky just said. We have a full panel today. We have Mark Naom.
What it do now?
Connor Sullivan.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
Nicky Erdmann.
What it do?
And Roy Erdmann.
What's up?
All right, so we have a lot to cover today, a lot of people, so we're going to try to keep things from getting crazy here. So let's kick off things with the first game of the week. Southampton 1, Manchester United 1. Mark, your thoughts?
Pathetic. I feel like United has to step up in every way. Like, this does not look like a top 4 team right now, so if they want top 4, they can't be losing to Southampton. Sorry, drawing with Southampton.
Man U lost. Ryan said both Southampton and Man U won.
Southampton 1, Manchester United 1. Draw.
Oh,
Bro, you said it. Oh my God. We've only been recording for like 2 minutes.
So yes. So Manchester United. All right. Manchester United drawing with Southampton. Could view that as a bit of a loss for Manchester United.
That is 100% a loss. I mean, Southampton is a side that really is probably going to end up getting relegated this year. But Daniel James played fantastic that game. But Paul Pogba he just needs to get out of there. He's so bad.
Also, Southampton on a red card after 73rd minute. So Manchester United can't even beat a 10-man Southampton side. Are they in trouble? Do you see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer leaving, Nicky?
I feel like a lot of the Manchester United fans are very accusatory towards Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but I don't think it's really his fault. I think there's a lot of players that just have humongous egos and are just very big locker room problems, like Pogba, and I think they just need to get out of there. And I think if he has those people get out of there, I think he can have a very functional and good side.
How many bad results until he goes?
I would say if it's still continuing like this in January, I would not be surprised if he gets out.
You think give him until January?
I would give him until January.
I'm saying he won't get sacked before Christmas. They're not going to do that. If he's doing badly, I think they'll sack him maybe January, but definitely not until Christmas.
So Manchester United on 5 points, only winning 1 game, 2 draws, 1 loss.
I thought it was absolutely a pathetic performance by Manchester United. Rashford was just kind of lazying in the park, and I do think that the manager will go, and it will be very soon.
All right. Well, so that will be, I think that cover. Anybody have anything else to add on that? United 1, Southampton 1?
The marking on the Vestergaard goal was just also abysmal. So
yeah, and I mean, I think that's what's most shocking about this United squad is, they have been so bad in the back for the past few years, and they really invested in their defense, and they're still bad in the back. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of work to do still at United, more work than I think United fans would be happy with. All right, so I think that covers Southampton 1, United 1. Moving on, we have Crystal Palace 1, Aston Villa 0. So, Jordan Ayew picking up that goal, and, of course, Aston Villa with the red card. Should Aston Villa have expected more out of this game?
I think so. I think Tyrone Mings should have played a lot better, mostly because I had him on my fantasy team, and I played him this week.
He's pulling this card again.
I was very angry.
Yeah, and I mean, Palace kind of really controlled this game. Jordan Ayew obviously has been doing very well over the past few games. I've really been impressed with him. Aston Villa still struggling to find their feet, I think, in the Premier League. They look good, but I'm not sure that they're a Premier League side.
Oh, I have something to add about that game, actually. Did anyone here watch the full game?
Yes, I watched the full game.
Yeah. So there was a disallowed goal for Aston Villa in that game.
Right.
and it was very, very controversial because it was disallowed for simulation.
It was bad. That was a bad call.
It was a bad call. It should
Oh
not have
yes,
been
that was the
disallowed.
Jack Grealish one.
Yeah,
right?
and,
yeah.
and literally the
That was a
fans
very bad
started.
call.
The fans started like storming the field and like punching the security guards. And there
That was
footage,
sad.
There was footage of like the security guards just whacking people with batons.
Yeah,
in the face.
it was a bad situation, but I think in that case the ref blew the whistle way too early. He should have let play go on, and
Yeah,
that's why you have VAR.
And refs.
Well, he let play go on. He let play go on. He let him score.
he blew the whistle.
No, he blew the whistle right before he
Yeah,
shot.
he blew the
It was
whistle. That's
so
what
dumb.
was all.
Yeah,
That's what it created all the controversy, and that's where the fans got all upset, and that's when they started
But
to
the
get.
thing is, they can't use VAR for simulation because they were going over that. That's not one of the things that they can use VAR for.
Well,
is
the thing that
simulation.
got me in the reason why it was outside the box, right? It wasn't in the
No,
box.
it was in the box.
So first of all, why would you dive outside the box?
It was in the
Second
box.
of all, it was in the box. I thought it was right outside. I thought it was like free kick.
I think
No,
it
it was-
was- I
it
think
was in the
started
box.
outside, but
It was in the box. It was just inside.
And I don't think you call that a dive if you looked at it over. and
No,
over.
I mean he went down, but I don't think he went down looking for a pen. I think he went down and he passed the ball, like he got the ball
He
away.
passed the ball and then went down.
Yeah, he should have never got that yellow card. That was not a dive, in my opinion.
Absolute travesty.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen this rule do this. Like, I've never seen a ref do this. Like, I've always seen refs let play go on. I mean, same thing happened, the Arsenal game earlier too. Anyways, so I don't know why it didn't happen in this game, and it just does not make any sense to me.
Yeah, it was kind of dumb.
Yeah, it was honestly a bizarre call. So not really sure what happened there. And
Yeah, but you can see what's happening with the VAR and the fans and the refs. It's just getting escalated. So
yeah. Okay, so I think that wraps up Palace 1, Villa 0. Moving right along, Chelsea 2, Sheffield 2.
The number 9 curse is broken, finally. So, like the last 10 people Chelsea has had as number 9, they've just played awful. And Tammy Abraham now has 4 goals in 2 games.
Against Sheffield and Norwich, don't forget that though.
yeah, and
4 goals in
let's
2
pull
games.
let's pull him out and while we're ahead and lose the game, or I'm sorry, tie the game. That was an absolute travesty of a call. I think by the manager to pull Tammy Abraham. I was really rooting for Chelsea, and then it was pathetic.
I can see taking Tammy Abraham off. I really can, because you're in the lead. At this point, you just need to throw people in the back and just defend.
In the lead by 1.
In the lead by
They
1,
were in the
but
lead by 2.
up until the 46th minute.
Yeah.
But
when Abraham was brought off, it was in the lead by 1.
it was the 89th minute Kurt Zuma own goal.
Yeah.
I think the real
It
problem
was
with
barely
this
an own
Chelsea
goal.
side, Kurt Zuma was responsible for both goals this game. He has
Kurt
really
Zuma's been
been
really bad.
shocking.
And Kurt Zuma has played the most minutes out of any Chelsea player this season.
Where's Christensen? Like, is he locked in Lampard's basement or something? Where did he go?
I don't know why they're not playing Christensen. I think he might be recovering from a little knock or something. But they played. One player that they did play was Fikayo Tomori.
Yep,
And Tomori
Tomori.
played really well. He played really well.
That's promising.
Yeah, so that's a bright spot. And Tammy Abraham, of course.
Tammy Abraham played well. And then also Mason Mount played really well again. Mason Mount hit the crossbar, I think, twice. And he had a bunch of shots.
But yeah,
Yeah, he looked real good.
yeah.
I said he looked real good. Last couple of games, I don't know where he came from, but wow.
He came from Derby.
Yeah.
The
Derby
lone
County.
army.
Where?
The lone Army.
He was playing in the championship last
Or
year
he was playing
underneath
under Frank Lampard.
in his team in the championship, Derby County. So, yeah. So, the weird thing was there was some weird subs. Frank Lampard was treating it kind of like he was 4-1 up and
Yeah,
not 2-1 up.
it was weird.
Billy Gilmore came on. Batshuayi finally came
Billy
on.
Billmore.
Ricky Bobby.
What?
So, but at the same time, do we need to give Sheffield United some more credit here? Because they really,
They really put on the pressure. I'm gonna be honest. They did not stop playing their heart out because a lot of teams in that position would end up just like giving up and kind of just accepting the fact that they're going to lose. But they
Yeah.
really pushed for that draw.
They did really push for it. However, Chelsea still let in 2 own goals.
No,
one
it
No,
was
one
just
own goal
and
and
another
one
one.
that was just really
And the own
shocking
goal was
defending.
barely an own goal.
I would honestly would not have called it
classify it
an
as
own
an
goal,
own
but
goal.
honestly, I think this is a really good positive for Sheffield United. You know,
Yeah, and I think Chelsea has some
Billy Gilmore made his debut.
some building to do
That's fantastic.
still.
Ricky Bobby.
And I think they're really going to be happy when Rudiger is back. I think because I mean, what's been killing Chelsea so far this
The
season has
defense.
been bad defense.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I think it's time to give. I think it's also time to give Marcos Alonso another shot, because I think Emerson has not been playing as well as he was last season these first couple games, and I think it's time to give Marcos Alonso another chance.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you also have to talk about Sheffield. I mean, that is, and what they've done is incredible. I mean, to tie Chelsea and to come back like that, I thought they'd be in the bottom of the league, and I was pretty impressed by what they did this
They
week.
are sitting on 1 win, 2 draws, 1 loss so far this season.
That's pretty good for a newly
Which for a
promoted side.
newly promoted side, they are even with points with Manchester United, Spurs, Chelsea, and Sheffield United all on 5 points.
Yeah, and Robinson really stuck out. Like he's one of their stars. I think he's going to be one of the ones that I'm going to pick in the fantasy going forward. Put that down in your book, Robinson. I'm picking him up.
Oliver McBurney.
Yes, Ollie McBurney I like a lot.
did he get his debut goal in that game, or was that
No.
Robinson?
Robinson got his goal. I think McBurney scored last
Yeah, he scored
last week.
last
Well, Robinson should have gotten both goals, but they gave Zuma the credit.
So, all right. So I think that wraps up Chelsea 2, Sheffield 2. Moving on, the battle for the worst of the worst here. Newcastle 1, Watford 1.
That was
game-
an absolute snooze fest.
This game had more
Yeah,
blocks
I think
than the
I'm gonna go
Minecraft world.
I think I'm going to go grab a beer on that one. I'll let you guys discuss it. I'll be back.
Yeah. So both Newcastle and Watford both looking really, really bad so far this season. Neither of them are getting off the mark. Honestly, Newcastle really controlled this game more so than Watford.
Newcastle looked pretty good. I'm
Pretty
gonna be
good.
honest.
It's been the same thing that's been biting them so far this season, though, in that they can't score. They can't hit the net, and they keep wasting chances.
That Isaac Hayden chance, I thought that was in, dude. But like, I feel like they have the potential to score, but they just don't. Like they keep on getting unlucky. They keep on missing. I don't get it.
Hey, all that matters is I brought in Fabian Schär on my team.
Can
this
you
week,
shut up about fantasy?
And he went and he scored one, and I was so excited.
Well, Schär is also. I mean, I like their backline. It's not that bad. I mean,
No, I mean, really, this Newcastle side isn't terrible. I mean, they're young and they're inexperienced, and they are not with the right manager for the job.
on paper, this team comes in like 12th. Like I don't
with a
get
good
it.
manager.
With
With a manager
Rafa
who can,
Benitez,
with Rafa Benitez.
Well, you know what? They look at what they did last week with the Spurs. You know what I mean?
Well, that was just really bad luck with Spurs too.
But I think they have a good defense. Newcastle does, but I think was he hurt? I thought he was taken out. Did he have a knock for this time?
I think he did get taken off, but I think he was fine.
Yeah, he was fine. I think he was just tired.
Yeah. And then meanwhile, Watford still in all. I mean, this is at what point do we call this a crisis? I mean,
I would say it's a crisis right now.
we are. I mean, they are
I'd
in
say bottom
crisis.
3.
Definitely a crisis.
And I mean, how much longer until Gracia goes?
Soon. I mean, if your only goal scoring threat is Will Hughes liquidate the club, but like Gracia's got to go too. I mean, I don't get it. How he wasn't that bad with Watford last year. I mean, everybody says they're gonna finish 13th, and here they are starting off so badly. I don't think this is gonna end well for him.
No. Does anybody have any dark horse picks for who they would pick for a new Watford manager?
Bring back Marco Sullivan.
Jose Mourinho.
Jose Mourinho to Watford.
Watford
Yes.
manager.
All
Arsene Wenger, Watford manager.
Oh,
So,
Who did the thing with the Spurs? Who is the new football manager for them?
Oh, he's talking about that old video. The old video where the
it was
American goes and manages
the
Spurs.
Spurs.
You know?
I
No,
think
I
It's an
don't
old
know
YouTube
that.
I
video
think he's
from a long
definitely.
time ago.
oh,
Yeah, you know?
oh, yes, I know what
Yeah,
you're
the
talking
one where
about.
it's a comedy one.
The NFL coach in the
Yeah,
Premier
Yeah,
League.
Yes,
I
yes.
think he's definitely a runner for
You know,
them.
I'm managing the Tottenham Hotspur.
you know, I would not be surprised if they brought in like an awful pick like Andres Villas-Boas or someone just completely inane to do it.
Unai Emery.
Hey.
All right, so I think that wraps up. We've given that game far too much time already. Moving on, Manchester City 4, Brighton 0.
City versus Brighton.
Aguero.
Anybody surprised by this result?
No,
I'm still bad at fantasy.
should have been actually 6-0.
It really should have been.
But the thing that really worried me though was Laporte. He's going to be out for 6 months with that injury. Laporte.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard for them, especially because that's the position where I think City's weakest right now in terms of depth.
Do you think they start Stones and Otamendi together, or do you think they slot in Walker
absolutely.
and
I
play
would
Cancelo?
slot, I would slot in Walker in center back and
Yeah,
then play.
put Walker to center back and then
Cancelo.
start Joao
I
Cancelo.
trust Walker more, but I don't think that's what Pep's gonna do.
I think it's something you try against a weaker side, and if it goes well, awesome. If not,
Doesn't matter, you play Stones,
if not, Manchester City's strong enough that they're going to be fine regardless against
Yeah, it doesn't matter how many goals you're letting in if you score 6 every game.
With the attackers and midfielders they have, I don't think they need to worry about their back line as much. And if they have one small hole, I don't think that'll be the end of the world for them.
No, they don't need to worry about their back line too much. However, once they start, and we'll talk about this. Actually, I think now's a good time to talk about this. Champions League groups are drawn. City getting
They paid so much money for that group.
If City doesn't win, I'm going to be really disappointed.
the Champions League. They're not going to win the Champions
they're
League this
not.
year.
I don't know why they're not gonna win it. I just know that they're not gonna win it.
So
I'm going to be really disappointed then.
So yes, City in their group drawing. Let me pull it up here.
It was
In City's group, we have Shakhtar
Dinamo Zagreb,
and Atalanta.
Atalanta. Yeah.
They're not having any trouble with that group. I mean,
no.
Well, and here's the
that's
thing
a
I
straight
thought
up
about
City
it.
and
though.
Atalanta group.
So I thought about that, but I think the thing that is going to hit them hard with this group is the travel. Because Shakhtar and Zagreb are not close. That's Croatia and Ukraine. So that's going to be tough to get to, and it's going to be hard flying back and forth and being still fit for the Premier League games of the weekend. Versus you have like Liverpool's group, they're going to Italy, Austria, and Belgium. Those are much easier travels. Chelsea's going to Spain, France, and the Netherlands with Ajax, Valencia, and Losk, and then Liverpool obviously drawing Napoli, Salzburg, and Genk. Napoli's going to be a good one there. And then Spurs, of course, drawing Bayern Munich, Olympiacos, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that.
What? That's just Red Star Belgrade.
Red Star? Okay, that's what I thought. But
That's
it's
the team where Marko
spelled
Marin plays right now.
it's spelled in Serbian.
That's where Marko
I'm
Marin
looking
plays right
at.
now. That used to be my
speak
favorite
Serbian?
player.
Hey, well, back to the game. I just wanted to ask you, were you surprised that Sterling didn't score and that he wasn't as active on this game?
No,
I sure was because he's on my fantasy. as my
stop.
No, I don't think I really was. I don't think it's realistic to. I mean, that's the thing about the City team is if Sterling's not firing, Aguero's going to fire. If Aguero's not firing, Bernardo Silva can fire. If Bernardo Silva's not firing, Kevin De Bruyne can fire. Like they have so much rotation in where their goals are coming from that it's not as reliant on. Like, for instance, Liverpool, for example,
It couldn't be like Mo Salah.
is really reliant, and not even on just Mo Salah, but Mo Salah and Sadio Mane, where if the goals aren't coming from those two, it becomes difficult. Whereas City really does have this rotation of goal scorers where the goals are just going to be pouring in from all sides. So
All right.
I'm not overly concerned that.
I think Sterling is just getting warmed up. I'm doing triple captain next
Oh,
week.
my God.
Sterling, yes, that's it. I did the bold move. I'm making it.
Anyways, I feel like a little part of that is just Kevin De Bruyne kind of being the pacemaker for the team. If Kevin De Bruyne doesn't, I'm not gonna say doesn't let Sterling into the game, but doesn't make an effort to make it all Sterling. I don't think it's gonna be all Sterling. I think it's gonna be all Aguero or all.
Well, and the other thing is how wide they're playing on that particular game. They weren't playing super wide this game, and because of that, you saw goals from Aguero versus Sterling and Mahrez. So yeah,
I think Sterling not on paper not performing that well. I don't think that's anything to worry about right now because of how much talent they have and because of how their game dictates so much off of what Kevin De Bruyne sees and how he decides the game goes.
well, and I mean, it's not like Raheem Sterling's in crisis here. He's still in second place for the Golden Boot with 5 goals so far this season. One behind Sergio Aguero with 6, which is just crazy that both Aguero and Sterling are both sitting at in Golden Boot positions right
Triple
now.
captain
But
next week.
no, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to expect any player to score week in, week out. It's just not going to happen. So
And Sterling's gonna be scoring throughout the season, so don't
sure.
worry. But he's not gonna score every game. Like you've seen just those games where one player just doesn't show up as hard as the rest of them, even if it's against an easy opposition. So I don't, especially against Brighton, that's nothing to gauge Raheem Sterling's rest of the season on.
no. So yeah, I mean, so just jumping back real quick to Champions League, I think we all expect them to finish top of the group. Does anybody see them not finishing top of their group? Anybody want to make a bold claim there?
I got the shirt, the jersey, everything. They're number 1.
So
They're going to be the team to beat. I mean, I think Liverpool has an easy schedule right now, and they're going to face some tough games coming forward. Not next week, but the week after. But
I would be hesitant to triple captain Sterling next week if you have, especially in my case, because I have Salah playing on my team.
Newcastle.
Yeah, Newcastle. Salah's gonna go off, or he's not gonna he's gonna go crazy, or he's gonna play 80 minutes, and then it's gonna be he's taken off because they're doing too good.
Well, I would take some words from Connor because he's number 1 in our league.
I am. I'm up by 8 points in front of Ryan. 74 points this week.
not for long. So all right. So
that was a good tangent. Thanks, guys.
So okay,
You're
so
welcome.
I think that closes up Man City 4, Brighton 0. Moving right along. West Ham 2, Norwich City 0. West Ham.
Pookie can only score against good opposition.
Okay.
Wait, can you say his name again?
Pookie.
I love that name.
I don't think this is anything too worrying for Norwich. I think this is just more West Ham playing really well than Norwich not doing well. Pookie's going to keep scoring. Cantwell's going to keep playing. Whoever else on their team is going to keep performing. I think. One thing about Norwich is actually two of their center backs are injured right now. I think one of them's coming back after the international break, so look out for that because I think those two are one of them's the starting one, and the other one's the third choice center back or something. So this is I think Norwich is gonna look better defensively, especially I think they've conceded in every game so far.
Well, that's a bold statement. I mean, looking better than this, that was pathetic.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I don't think Norwich played particularly bad, but West Ham took their chances well. I think West Ham really has a very good player on their team.
Yeah, you picked him up, didn't you?
Sebastian Haller. Is that my
Yeah, I think it's Haller or something.
What is it?
Haller.
Yeah, it'd be like Holla.
Where'd he come from? Germany?
He came from Germany.
from
Come from the
French.
Bundesliga, but he is French.
French. Oh, there you go, baguette.
Oui.
Okay, and then moving on to that.
That
Well, yes,
Yarmolenko
that's
goal.
moving
That
on to that
Yarmolenko
Yarmolenko
was
goal.
absolutely insane.
I like
Oh,
the
my
Mark
goodness.
Noble, the Mark Noble complete miss hit into it too.
What a strike that Yarmolenko goal was. That was absolutely fantastic. Very good goal.
That kind of goal is better to see than like a 30-yard screamer because you get one of those every week. This one was just like weird. It was more fun to watch.
It was a beautiful volley, though. It really
That's
was.
weird. Just wait till we get to the Leicester game.
Yeah.
Which brings
Vardy.
us to the Leicester game. Leicester City 3,
Vardy
Bournemouth
So glad
1.
I had him on my
is
fantasy
having
team.
a party. He was on your bench though.
No, he was not.
No, he was not. That's where he got all his points.
Yeah. Yeah, but did you see that Vardy one bounce and then boom, right over the head in the corner.
That reminds me of that one goal that he
Jeez.
scored in the title-winning season. Remember that goal that
He was
scored?
on
too.
fire.
I don't remember who it was against. I think it might have been City, but he like just chipped it perfectly. It was like it was
I
just
remember
like,
him
it was
like
just like
a weird chip goal that
yeah.
but, I don't know what the goalie's doing all the way out there. Bournemouth's goalie does not look good. Like he's a youth product and he's young, whatever. But like, come on, you can't do that, especially because they just loaned out Asmir Begovic to Karabag or something. And so yeah, right now they have 5 goalies. I don't know why they're sticking with this guy because he's not doing well. Like just from what I've seen.
Yeah. So Bournemouth really, and I mean, I think I called this at the start of the season here. Bournemouth is not looking as good as they did last season. They are currently sitting with 1 win, 1 draw, 2 losses, 4 points. I don't see them tearing it up this season, but I don't see them in any danger, but I don't think they're going to hit the heights they did last year.
I mean, looking at their end season form too from last year, it's just like I feel like
They've
they're just
continued that
continuing
form,
off that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And they made some good additions, but they need to be picking back up that form if they want to try to finish in the upper mid table.
I think Leicester's looked really good this season.
Well,
For
the
being
first
Leicester.
couple games were not great, but this one I feel like they just kind of had a slow start. They're just getting themselves
Leicester
back into
City
the same old
sitting on
Leicester.
8 points with 2 wins, 2 draws, no losses.
I'm really
I did not
excited to see
realize
them next week against Man U and see how they play against that. 'Cause
Well, Man U is non-existent. I mean, I dropped Rashford. I was very disgusted with Man U. I dropped all my Man U players this week.
The way you said Man U is kind of weird. Like you didn't say it Man U. You said like Man U.
you.
Like,
Can't
Man
drop
U.
any Manchester United players if you don't have any.
I wasn't worrying about it, honestly. I think that Man U might end up they have some players that could actually play positively and have for your fantasy team overall. Not.
You mean positively?
Well, I mean, overall,
What did
there
that
are
say?
players on Manchester United that are good. Manchester United will score goals. They're not going to be.
Well, when is Martial coming back?
We don't know yet. Actually, I think it was right after the international break.
I think that's
Solskjaer
what they're
said.
missing.
The
I think
only
that's what
United-
they're lacking
The
is that
only
Martial.
United player you should have on your team is Daniel James.
Yeah, he's
who I have.
wow. I mean, that goal he made, unbelievable. How old is he?
21. Oh yeah, he's
So he can
19.
drink.
Dang.
Cheers.
Yeah, I mean it's in England. He could drink when he's 18.
Let's see. Yeah, no news on
Roy goes, I'll drink to that.
no news on when Martial's coming back. At least not that I can see on transfer market right now.
Well, then I think Manu's in trouble until he does. When he comes back, I'll start looking at it again. But without him, it was very like a stroll in the park.
I mean, the Leicester Manchester United fixture is always a pretty good one.
Oh, yeah, that'll
I
be a
think
good
both
game.
teams are going to try to show up, so that's why I don't think Leicester's going to lose that one. And I think Leicester's just going to keep going off this performance, keep going off their previous performances. Just be the same old Leicester they've always been. Okay, not always been. But.
Leicester also
Also,
has a pretty easy lineup for September too. They have Man U this next week, Tottenham, which should be. I think
That's a tough. Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's a
wait,
tough one.
that'll be a tight game. Yeah, that's not.
As
that's
long
not
as
gonna
stays in, you're in trouble.
not an easy
okay.
As long as the coach doesn't
No,
pull
and I mean-
Son out.
And I mean, it's easy, and I think this is one thing that everybody needs to be careful of. It's easy to talk about teams like Manchester United and Chelsea as being not great but not up to their standards is still better than most of the standards of the teams in the Premier League. United Spurs, Chelsea, these teams are going to win a lot of games.
Well,
this
I actually
season.
had a flash that came to me that said that Man U gets relegated if they continue to play like they're playing right now. This last week, it was actually not good. I mean, I
don't
could
think
see
they
that.
can get relegated. Just
I think they've been there.
I think
too
before, but,
they
no,
can't.
there's
been
absolutely
grandfathered
no
in.
way. And I mean, before if it really gets too bad, like we were talking about, if it gets to a point where by January or even December, they're not in the top of the table, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is gone. They're bringing in a new manager, and there's going to be big
Jose.
changes. Yeah, Jose back in.
Arsene Wenger.
That would be hilarious. That would be absolutely hilarious if Wenger went.
He would not like.
No, there's
the
no
locker room
way.
right now.
There's no
Unai
way.
Emery.
Yeah, I think United might be in the market for a new manager. I don't think Solskjaer is as good as
How do we
as
get
good as
back
some
on the
people.
topic?
Yeah, I know because we're talking about Leicester City United next week, which we'll
All
talk
right, let's
about.
not-
Or not actually, not next week because next week is the international break. We'll have a special bonus episode out next week.
Bonus.
So I also one thing I wanted to touch on in this Leicester City Bournemouth game, Tielemans' goal was also very good.
I think this team is playing together really well. I think it's going to keep going. That was just a good example of a pretty good team goal, and I think Vardy's second goal was too.
Well, and I think we talked about the three teams that really made big changes this summer, which is Leicester City, Everton, and West Ham. And all of them have been doing
every summer.
well. Yeah, all of them have been doing fairly well. Leicester City's is on 8 points with 2 wins, 2 draws, no losses. Everton is at 2 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss at 7 points, and West Ham is also on 7 points with the same record. So,
I think that this form is going to start, and it's gonna go well. But each of these teams, I think, are going to finish just where we all expected them to, 7th to like 10th, maybe
I
11th.
wouldn't be surprised if Leicester ends up finishing higher.
Leicester could nick
I
the
definitely
top
think-
6, but I feel like off United or Chelsea, maybe.
yeah,
Vardy is
Leicester
in
team-
great form.
if
right?
Leicester
Vardy-
doesn't implode, it's a long season, but if Leicester can hold on, I could see them finishing at least top 8.
And Brendan Rodgers' team's really like slipping.
I think Vardy definitely needs to keep up his game throughout the entire season, though. If Leicester wants to be considered in the top 8.
Well, I think Leicester is a top 8 team right now. I think top 6 is more like where they really need to like prove themselves to be top 6 quality.
And I would agree with that, Mark. I think they are in the top 6 this year.
Ooh, you think
I
they're
do.
already?
I
in
do.
the top
I think
6?
they
Okay.
do because of the other teams' performances. You know, it's just like
Kind of a
a,
weird season.
And well, I mean, and this is one thing to consider is it's still very early. We are
4
on
game weeks.
we are on match day 4 of 38. So we still have
Yeah.
a lot of games to play. A lot of stuff can happen for sure. So I don't think, and I mean, that's the thing, is I don't see teams like United and Chelsea struggling for long. And if they do continue to flounder, they're going to bring in a new manager and they're going to throw money at the problem and they're going to fix it.
Chelsea can't even throw money at the problem.
Well, they can throw money at a new
Thank
manager.
you.
wow.
I don't think Chelsea, or especially Chelsea. I feel like just the way that they are, Lampard's gone if he's not performing well
The
enough.
special
Oh,
one.
I think Chelsea doesn't have a problem as long as they leave Tammy Abraham in. You know, going
I
forward.
don't
But
think he's-
let's move on.
he's
What's
not
the
gonna
next
score.
game?
Yeah, well, and I mean, you have to sub your strikers out. You have to rotate
We're
them.
rambling.
No.
You can't keep your strikers on for 90
Batshuayi's
minutes
better
every
than
game.
Abraham.
Anyway, yes, we are rambling. Let's rein it back in and let's jump to Burnley 0, Liverpool 3.
Why didn't Salah score?
I don't like
Liverpool
Burnley.
top
I'm
of
mad.
the table.
I'm mad.
Why didn't Salah score?
Because we're top of the table and having a laugh.
I don't like Burnley. Like, I'm not even a Liverpool fan, and I'm definitely not a Burnley fan. Burnley's so boring. Burnley's stupid. Burnley's dumb. I'm sorry. I really just don't like Burnley. Sean Dyche.
let's talk. I'm gonna, even though it was labeled an own goal, I'm gonna, that Trent Alexander
That
Arnold
was
goal.
insane. How was that labeled an own
That-
goal?
Because it actually, when he hit it, he hit it against the against Chris
Wood's
Wood, and
That's
it bounced
dumb.
and it like did that weird loop. But yeah, what a goal! What an
Yeah,
what
it was fantastic. You know, I want to give a shout out to Yaman in Sarasota. Liverpool looking good. I think that they're going to be really a good challenge for Manchester City. But I was a little concerned about Mane and his little dispute with Salah. Ryan, I want to hear your thoughts on that. What's going on there?
I don't think it's an issue. I think it's a heat of the moment type thing. Jurgen Klopp is not going to tolerate that sort of thing.
I fight.
They're gonna hug it out
There's
after
fights
that.
between teammates all the time.
There's gonna be an episode. There's gonna be an episode up on
West High School's a
Liverpool's.
little special too.
There's gonna be an episode up on Liverpool's YouTube channel of them going out for coffee or something by the end of the week. So
Yeah, that was a little concerning though when I saw Mane on the bench and he was yelling at everybody. But Firmino, I like the way he stepped in. He's a good leader.
Something that the cop wants you to know.
yeah, I love Bobby, and Bobby of course scored a good goal as well.
But I do think Salah wants the golden boot again, and I think he's just trying
He's being
to
a little
score.
selfish, which
he
makes sense.
is. He's
I mean-
being selfish, and I think Mane called him out on it. I
Well,
think Mane
and-
called him out.
Well, and I mean, it's easy. It's in this sort of game, it becomes less about the team and more about the individual stats and pumping up your numbers because you're already now 2-0 up at halftime. So everybody wants to score the goals, and then people get a little bit selfish, which I think is something that needs to stop with Liverpool. They need, and I mean, Mane is is not innocent in this regard either. I've seen him in a lot of chances where he should pass the ball and he really put it wide, especially prior to last season where he did get the golden boot. His shooting was not up to scratch, and there was times where he would take the ball and shoot it when he absolutely should not. So I don't think this is just the sort of dispute when you have such good players all wanting to score goals.
Yeah, but can't that escalate in the locker room? And I mean, if Jurgen doesn't get that under control, I think that Liverpool will be seeing some problems going forward.
Oh, 100% with the big names in Liverpool, and it's bound to happen if Jurgen can't take control of that and can't combine them all yet again.
But at the time, on that regard, though, Jurgen Klopp is known for his man management. Like, that is his style. This is the sort of thing that he handles well. So I don't really anticipate too many issues.
We shall see next week.
Well, you guys are forgetting the biggest name, Alexander Oxlade-Chamberlain. It's not a big name because he's a good player. His name's just really long.
Ox, yes. I'm so happy to see Ox back and playing.
He's a fantastic
He's
player.
a fantastic
but
player.
he hates playing on the wing. I don't get it. It's the reason he left us. I don't, he doesn't perform as well at center mid as he does at right wing, but I feel like under Klopp he might start doing better under center mid, and I'd be okay with seeing him, perform really well because we made him.
Right, and I definitely see him playing games in center mid. The kind of midfield I think gets rotated a lot in this Liverpool side with Wijnaldum, Henderson, Ox, Milner, and even
Fabinho.
I think Fabinho is interesting because Fabinho is the only one in this midfield that I think doesn't get rotated as much, if at all.
He's also got the center defensive mid kind of.
Yeah, his ability. I love watching Fabinho. His ability to just destroy any attack that opponents have is just unbelievable. He's
that's
so good at
something that Milner, especially Wijnaldum and Oxlade-Chamberlain do not have.
right. And I mean, he's such a good player, and he's such a unique player to this team. Whereas, Wijnaldum, Henderson, Milner, and Ox, they all are more attacking-minded midfielders.
But you got to really give the hats off today to Firmino, Bobby. I mean, what a day for him.
Right.
yeah, I mean, he really gets he's criminally underrated. In a team with Salah and with
Mane.
and Mane, it's easy to kind of get overshadowed, but his role in that Liverpool side is just so important. And I mean, I saw there was a rumor over the summer about potentially replacing him with Timo Werner, and that does
That
not
doesn't
happen.
sound right, no.
That doesn't happen. There's no way, because Bobby is the perfect striker for a Jurgen Klopp side. He's exactly what Jurgen Klopp wants from a striker.
He's just
Or a
the
center
perfect
forward.
number 9.
I do want to see Shaqiri get subbed in a little more. I
don't think he's earned his place in the starting lineup.
Shaqiri is
so good.
Oh my God!
No.
Did you
But
the
he's not as
bicycle
good
kick?
as
thing?
Mane.
Well, who do you
Oh.
take out? Mane, Salah? Who do you start? Because those are your options. Who do you take out?
Play 2 right wings.
That is the answer.
But
Which I
okay.
mean, yeah, he's at best a squad player. He's gonna come on and get subbed on, but
He tried so bad to score a goal when he came in.
Yeah, play a 4-2-4.
he's really good.
I was
but,
rooting for him.
All right. Well,
I do have a little bit to add about Firmino. I think him and Lacazette have the best hold-up play, have the best center forward play. Best
Lacazette?
number 9 play in the league. I don't think anybody comes close to those two. I
What?
think they're the most valuable strikers in the league.
yeah,
Bobby
I
is
could
better
agree.
than
I would
Lacazette.
agree with
What?
that.
No, as a number 9 though.
As a number 9, Lacazette is very good.
Yeah,
I
when
mean,
he when he plays and when he's not like take me out of the
yeah,
game.
because he's injured.
I don't feel good.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
I can't wait.
All right. So before that, though, we're gonna talk Everton 3, Wolves 2.
Wolves, pack up your bags and go home. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe how pathetic the performance was.
Okay,
and
but-
Bali with the red card. No, let me have a couple seconds here. They were absolutely terrible. I would say drop every single Wolf you have on your fantasy because I am just disgusted with their performance. I had I mean, it was just pathetic. And I used to love the defense. I used to love the goalkeeper. I used to love it all. But I just have nothing left for the Wolves as far as I'm concerned. Nothing.
He just tore them apart. My God.
On that subject,
They were not
No, the
that
Wolves
bad.
are getting relegated. You heard it here. Bold statement. The
right.
Wolves are out. They're gone.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Nice jerseys. I loved it, but goodbye.
So let's rate it in, guys. All right. So Wolves right now sitting no wins, 3 draws.
No wins. Did everybody hear that? No wins.
3 draws.
Oh, my gosh.
3 draws, 1 loss.
So this is like
Let's
the-
go around the table.
Oh.
Let's go around the table and let's have everybody have their chance to talk about Wolves because I think this is a big point here. Mark, why don't you lead us off? What are your thoughts on Wolves?
Okay, I said this before and I'm saying it again. The Europa League is killing this team. Like just the especially
It
the
hasn't even really started.
but the
yet.
qualifiers
Something
are
is
so
killing
weird.
the
They're
league.
going to like, random countries in Eastern Europe. I think they had one in like Scotland, which isn't that bad.
You
but-
mean in Italy?
They played 2.
Weird countries in Italy.
Scotland,
third world
Italy.
country, Italy. But no,
Kazakhstan.
You know, these weird countries like the
Yeah.
Italians.
but I don't think Wolves has the depth, like I said before, to do this. They have 4 strikers, and that's like it. They have, they have 2 wing backs on each side, but they don't have enough midfielders. They don't have enough center backs.
Well,
and-
I'm going to have to agree with that. And, I would be a Wolves supporter, and I think that the defense is what has been lacking. The
Yeah, I mean,
defense
they-
has just
they're so
been
tired.
terrible.
and
They need to get new defenders. Their defenders,
Yes.
they're still playing the same defenders they were when they were in the championship 2 years ago.
Well, and I mean,
They really need
there's
to
a
upgrade
lot.
their defense.
There's a
They're
lot
spending too
riding
much
on
time.
those.
They're spending too much time upgrading their attack and their midfield, and they need to be upgrading their.
And there's a lot riding on those defenders. There's a lot asked of them. Whereas with the strikers, if Jota isn't performing well, he gets dropped and Cotrone comes in.
And let me add that putting 2 past Everton at Goodison is not an easy ask. I mean,
No, I don't.
that's pretty impressive.
Personally, as much as Wolves has been misfiring, I don't think they've been in terrible form.
I mean, even
They've
that
been-
Manchester United
so-
game with
so-
the draw, they were not bad. They weren't bad in this game. I don't get
They
it.
just
So does
are
that mean you're keeping Patrizio on your fantasy league?
Oh,
Is that-
absolutely.
Oh, what?
Yes,
Okay,
I love
whatever.
Rui Patricio. I think, and I don't. I really think that Wolves is going to be just fine. Personally, I think they're going to bounce back.
Maybe not.
They're
No.
they're
Drop
having
them all. Drop them.
they're having a little bit of growing pains. I think.
Yeah,
with
and
the Europa
I'll
League.
sit on the sidelines until the growing pains is over. But it's just pathetic.
But I think there are definitely far worse teams
Worse.
right now in the Premier League.
Oh, yeah?
Wolves have just had a slow start to the season. I think we're really looking down on it. There's only been 4 games. It's a long season. A lot can change. And I think the Wolves just need to stay positive, really. And while the defense is lacking,
They should sign James
Well,
Rodriguez.
and let's talk for a quick second about their fixtures so far. Leicester City Wolves 0-0. So a 0-0 draw to Leicester City, who we've already talked about has been doing very well this season.
I think you can look at that from the Wolves standpoint as a plus. Leicester sitting in 3rd right now, and
Well, we didn't know that Leicester was going to be that good.
Yeah.
That was kind of
All right, what's the
and
next
then
game?
Wolves
What's the next game?
won, Manchester United won. That's it.
second half. They were out of their mind. They probably could have won that one.
Yeah,
Wolves
especially
won,
after Man U.
Burnley won.
Burnley's not that bad.
Who?
I still don't like them.
But Burnley has been doing decent. They've been
Who's
not,
their
they're
striker?
not a bad
Who's their
shot.
striker?
Ashley
Ashley?
Barnes has been firing. He's
Ashley
got, like,
Barnes
4
and
goals
Chris
in 3
Wood
games.
are both very
Where's
good.
he at with the Golden Boot?
Ashley Barnes, I think, is sitting in. He's in 4th. He's got 4 goals.
Whoa, kudos to you.
Sergio Aguero has 6. Raheem Sterling with 5. Timu Puki with 5. Ashley Barnes with 4.
Team who?
Tamu Pukki. This is okay.
And Tammy Abraham with 4 as
I
well.
walked into that one.
So yeah, I don't.
congratulations, you
Whoa.
played yourself.
Wolves have not had easy fixtures so far.
Honestly,
Yeah, you know who has is Liverpool.
Well, yeah, but you know.
Yeah,
We're in
and I
first.
wouldn't discount Everton here. Richarlison finally found his
No.
feet again.
Everton is not a bad side. Everton is sitting in 6th place right now with 7 points, 2
Yeah,
wins.
Everton is
very
They've
good.
only lost
Watch
one
out.
game. Like Everton is not a bad side. None of those sides that Wolves has played so far are going to roll over. And I think, quite frankly, Wolves Chelsea next week is going to be a really, really good game. Wolves is not in any sort of danger. I don't think they play Chelsea, Crystal Palace, and Watford. I see them.
Nicky, come on. You're going to let that sit? They're playing Chelsea next week.
But
and you think
Chelsea's
he's
a
saying
tough
that
fixture. I think that's what he's saying. He's more like a first
see how
5
they
fixtures are
react.
awful. The next 2 at least are like not dream fixtures, but Watford seems like they're gonna
Watford
fall
should
over
be
with
where they're going to
the
be
gust
scoring
of a
some
win.
goals. But I think I'd be curious to see if Wolves can keep the draws up. If Wolves can draw against Chelsea, I mean, a draw is a point. They're getting points.
they're not drawing against Chelsea unless they pull Tammy Abraham out again.
I don't think
Go
Tammy
Frank.
Abraham's going to score like that against Wolves. Wolves' defense is much better than who was it? Norwich and Sheffield. Both those defenses crumbled faster than Rome, but I guess Rome kind of took a long time.
Rome
to fall.
took a long time.
You know what I mean?
All roads
But,
lead to Rome.
About 90 minutes.
Rome
Well,
wasn't
you know,
built in a day.
I don't think they're gonna kill Rui Patricio and then Connor Cody, Ryan
Well,
Bennett, whoever the heck their
when
fourth
Rome-
center back is.
Hey, I was in Rome in July.
So
Still
Happy for
there.
you.
It's still there.
So on Everton, though, how do we feel about Everton? I think they've been looking really good.
Yeah, they're a sleeper pick. I think they you got to watch out for them to be in the top 4 come the end of the season if they continue the way they are.
Oh, they could easily sneak up on you and
8th place.
finish easily. Yeah.
And Mark, your thoughts on Alex Iwobi scoring his debut goal for Everton?
I love that man. I love Nigel Boyce so much. Like I'm happy. I'm happy we got 40 million for him. But I'm so happy for him. He's a good player, and he's finally being played in the right position, I think, for Everton. So that's better. I think he deserved this move. I think this was a good move for him. He's going to be getting good service from Sigurdsson. He's got, he's still got good players surrounding him. So I don't think
it's good to see him on the field. I will be. Good deal. Because
I
when
wouldn't
he
call
said
$35 million a good deal, but 40 million a good deal. But honestly, I think he's going to be pretty good. I don't think he's going to tear it up, but I think he's going to show that he's better than what he showed at Arsenal and that he deserved more chances.
All right. Well, I think that wraps up Everton Wolves, and let's close it out with the big game of the week: Arsenal 2, Spurs 2.
I wanted to cry after the first half.
I think
Yeah, you
Arsenal
should.
be playing better.
You should.
That second half was the best soccer I've ever seen
that was-
Arsenal play.
that's
it
true.
was
That was insane.
incredible.
They need to show up for both sides, or
But-
for both halves. So.
Second half FC is real with this team. I don't know
you
what's
only
going on.
got lucky because they pulled Son out. If they wouldn't have
no,
pulled
it was
Son
only
out, that
2-2
would have
at
never
that point.
happened.
Arsenal needs to be
No,
playing,
Spurs
Tabella.
made a mistake by pulling Son out.
But
you
it was
know?
2-2 when Son
Yeah.
came
As soon as they pulled Son out, it was like, oh my God, we can get aggressive again.
Okay, because
And-
Lo
and
Celso came
Arsenal
out. Because Lo
get-
Celso's another attacking player.
Well, and I think
Arsenal needs to be starting.
Bad call,
Sabella's.
Spurs.
all right.
Xhaka was the worst pick to start. I
Start
saw the
Sabella.
midfield. I saw the midfield, and I was like, maybe this was a good idea. Maybe Xhaka's not that bad. And then he does that. I'm so done with Granit Xhaka. Guendouzi was insane. Torreira was taken off pretty early.
I
Ceballos did very well. I don't get it. What has Xhaka been doing to
Start
keep his
Ceballos.
starting?
Well, I'm going to tell you
it's not my
something.
choice.
Of one team that I'm most afraid of all of them to beat Manchester City and sneak up on everybody is Arsenal because
I
of
do
the
think we
talent
can-
that they have and the way they put it together on that second half and came back. I'm in fear of Arsenal, and I did not see that earlier in the year. But the talent that you guys have right now at Arsenal, I'm with you.
I agree 100%.
The thing that's going to kill Arsenal, though, is their defense.
Socrates and Xhaka were so bad that game. The first goal was straight up Socrates'
David
fault.
Luiz
Soc-
actually played good.
David
this game,
Luiz,
though. He actually played good.
this was a pretty good game for David
David
Luiz.
Luiz did great, and so
But-
did Guendouzi.
But
I
let's-
could hardly tell them apart. Anybody
It
else
was
have
pretty,
that problem?
No, I actually had that problem.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest.
But, I mean, they both played exceptional, and
But
I
I
think
think-
David Luiz has found a home. I
But-
think he's found a home.
He already had a home. And then he went.
All right, hang on. Time out.
He's bad in that home
Time
space.
out. Let's talk for a minute, though. Let's talk for a minute now that we've heaped a bunch of praise on David Luiz. Let's turn the clock back 1 week to Liverpool 3, Arsenal 1. All 3 goals with David Luiz's fault.
Hey, Mark,
Let's not forget about that game.
Mark, want to say something about that, bud?
I don't like how we're starting David Luiz and Socrates together. From the beginning of the season, I
I
said
thought you were going to say
it's-
I don't like Liverpool.
Well, that too, but I'd rather see Chambers and Socrates or Chambers and David Luiz together.
Well,
Chambers isn't even a good defender, but he has half a brain, so he's not going to
I
make
have a
weird
question
mistakes.
for you.
Go for it.
How do you feel about all the business that Arsenal has done since the Tottenham game, with Mohamed El-Neni leaving?
I'm so
and
happy.
Also, Nacho Monreal leaving.
Mkhitaryan.
And
Mkhitaryan was the
Mkhitaryan leaving.
biggest one I wanted. Our
I
board.
don't understand why Mkhitaryan left. Mkhitaryan, I think, is important to you.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm not sure if we were watching the same game. Mkhitaryan wasted every chance we had. Mkhitaryan loses the ball every couple seconds. I don't know where he went after the Bundesliga. I guess it was to the pub to have some fish and chips because this is not the same Mkhitaryan that we had at Borussia Dortmund.
I was there. I didn't see him.
Okay, got it. Well, he's somewhere eating or something because I don't know what's going on. Mkhitaryan going is good. He's getting $210,000 a week or something. He's like the third highest earner. I mean, it's just a loan, but hopefully Roma is going to be paying a lot of that.
There's an option to buy at the end too.
You still made out better in that deal, though.
We did.
Versus
Sanchez
Alexis
is just
Sanchez.
that was just awful. I'm so glad he's gone. But
Bye,
yeah, and then
bye.
You got El Neni going too. I think El Neni was a good squad player, but that's it. He was kind of deadwood. And then
Nacho Monreal.
Nacho, I'm sad about him. I remember that one season where he scored like 5 goals. Like
You don't need him. You got Kieran Tierney now.
I know, but speaking of left backs, Kolasinac was insane that game too. I'm gonna be honest, but I don't think this game is. This game is like weird to judge. I don't get it. I don't know if we're supposed to say our defense is bad, or the attack is good.
Well, okay, now let's talk about the Spurs a little bit. Since Mike isn't here, I'll step in for you, Mike. Harry Kane, or as my mom calls it, Hurricane, did score a penalty.
Dorian?
Yeah, and he scored a penalty, and Son was looking really good. I think, this is his second game. I still don't agree with pulling him out. I think that was an absolutely terrible call.
I was confused when they pulled him out. I don't think it was a good
not
idea.
right,
I think Lo Celso could have come in for
I think
Lamella.
Dele Alli is
Lamella's
back,
already out,
and
never
I
mind.
think that there's something with the Eriksson thing going on.
Well, Eriksson started, and he got the
Yeah.
goal. He got the first goal.
Yeah.
I think this is proof enough for him to not.
I think the
for Pochettino to
Spurs.
stop
I think
dropping
the
him.
Spurs are about to click and about to look really good again, like the Spurs of old, maybe like 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's the Spurs of old. I remember the other Spurs of old when they were out of the top six. But
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But Harry
but
Kane,
I get
Dele
that.
Alli,
don't-
Eriksson.
Okay, that little fight between Dele Alli and Ceballos just made my day right then and
Yeah,
there.
I'm sure it did.
Ceballos, I love Ceballos so much. And then, just the fight that Socrates started too. I mean, I know it was bad, and I know Socrates shouldn't have done that, but I feel like these players actually care about Arsenal, which is a lot more than you can say about, the Girouds and the Sanchez's and apparently the Koscielnys.
I love when after the Europa League final when Giroud held up the trophy and went, "Thank you, Arsenal."
I don't like Giroud.
Yeah.
I don't. But this team cares about Arsenal. I can see that. I can see that Socrates actually wants to win, even if he's kind of a headless chicken. I can see how Granit Xhaka likes the team, even though Granit Xhaka is going to be conceding penalties. I can see how, even the new players like Ceballos, he gave it his all. He's just a lone player. He looks like he's trying to fight for his place in the team. He looks like he wants to stay. Like,
But I do have one question for you, though.
go for it.
What the heck was Pepe looking at? Where did he see a goal? I mean,
I don't know.
Everything he was shooting went way, way. I mean, it's like he was the Chicago Bears kicker last year.
It was
Doink.
It was.
It was bad.
It was
bad.
pretty
Come
bad.
on, Pepe.
If Pepe learns how to shoot, he's honestly a contender for Golden Boot.
But he had like 3-4 wide open shots.
I don't get
and
it.
completely missed. It was. I mean, I had flashbacks to the Chicago Bears kicker.
It made me sad. Like I watched Pepe bully these defenders for 90 minutes, and I also watched him flash every shot wide. I did see that one Lloris save that was just completely insane. I don't know how Lloris got to that, but other than that, I don't think Pepe had the greatest game.
So what do you guys think? Was this Arsenal playing well in the second half, or was this Spurs just dropping the ball?
This is an Arsenal. Second half was a masterclass. Again, Doozy stepped up. That's people. People are always saying Arsenal fans are the only ones who rate Guendouzi. I think after this game, people are gonna see that.
I
Guendouzi's
thought he did
actually
very
a good
well.
player.
Well, I do think that the Spurs took with taking out Son and then trying to play more of a defense. I believe that the Spurs let Arsenal back into the game, and when they did do the draw, I was pretty disappointed because I really was rooting for the Spurs and Mike. I do want to give a shout out to Tommy Harner. Way to move up in the league, but
2 shout-outs in one episode. I like that.
But I do think that the Spurs gave it away. They gave that game away back to Arsenal because they took the aggressiveness away when they pulled Son, and then they decided to just try to hide the ball or kick the ball away, and then Arsenal saw an opportunity and they took it.
And I think Lacazette's goal also opened up the team so hard. I mean, Lacazette, the way he scored that goal, first of all, was insane. But also, him starting to step up and starting to perform was just an indicator to the team
Mark.
to actually start trying.
Did you see what he did? He scored the goal, and then shortly thereafter, he got the yellow card. And what did he do? The minute he got the yellow card, he's like, I need to go out.
He's still nursing.
My toe hurts.
He's still nursing an ankle injury that he got during.
Oh, it was his ankle. I'm sorry.
Yeah, during the during preseason, I think it
So
was.
he's not 100%. So
he isn't, but I think this was he did play against. I think Burnley, but yeah.
Well, I think we're already running pretty long, so I think.
So I think it's time for the quote of the week.
All right, Nikki's quote of the week. Go ahead.
My quote of the week this week comes from Jose Mourinho. And he said, "The only people who can complain about the introduction of security cameras are thieves."
Wasn't that also the quote of the week last week?
Yeah, that
but it
was.
part-
Come
it was part
on.
one, but
Let's get a new one.
Spurs.
How about here's my quote of the week: Wolves suck.
Jesus Christ.
All right. And as a final send off here, let's just go around the table and
R.I.P.
tell me
Bury.
who you think is going down. Nikki, who's going down as of right now? Now that we've seen 4 weeks of games.
Newcastle, Watford, Burnley.
Connor.
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth and Watford, definitely. I don't know.
There's another team.
I'm not sure
Okay.
yet. I'm not sure.
I'm going to go with Wolves, and Wolves.
Jeez. Mark.
Bournemouth, Watford, and I'm gonna go with Norwich.
Manchester United.
I'm gonna go with the Newcastle, Villa, Watford.
Can I switch to Villa? Actually,
I
not
would also like to
Norwich.
switch to Villa. I forgot they existed. Not gonna lie.
All right.
Also, the quote of the week this week is "R.I.P. Bury."
Dude,
Gone but
that's
never
sad.
forgotten.
Oh,
Animal crackers.
All right. Well, yes. Obviously, what happened with Bury is very sad. Our
Very
hearts
sad.
go out to all the fans losing their team. That's very unfortunate.
They're one of the oldest teams in football. They're older
Yeah.
than Liverpool.
Hey, and
Yeah,
I just
really
want to
is a
give a
shame.
word out to Laporte. I hope you're doing better. I hope everything's all right. Manchester City, rock on.
Yep, Laporte, obviously a very avid listener of the show. And I think on that note, thank you guys very much for listening. We will be potentially back next week with some sort of bonus episode if we
Review.
if we can figure out something fun. Otherwise, we will catch you after the international break. Thank you guys so much for listening.